So you're looking at his pictures bulked up. Does that look fat?
He looks like he's 12. Should I be looking at a
He's in his 20s.
shirt off 12-year-old?
He's in his What 12-year-old looks like that?
What am I doing here, babe?
All right, and so it's a surprise for Allie. Today's video, it's all about Jeff Seid bulking and cutting, and he's done so in the past. And you know Britney Spears?
Yes, of course.
Oops, I did it again.
Of course.
Jeff Seid, he bulked and cut 2 years ago and made a video about it, and I talked about it, and then he did it again.
Okay.
The same thing twice.
Does he like doing it?
Apparently he must, or at least he claims to be. And so, you know that saying, fool me once, shame on me?
No, fool me once.
Twice, shame on you.
No, it's the opposite.
Okay, yeah. So fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah.
Well, I think Jeff Seid has fooled us twice.
Really?
And so shame on us. And the reason I'm saying this is because Jeff Seid, a couple years ago, and literally I made a video on it. It's called Jeff Seid is Bulking. Why not? My thoughts. And in the video, we're going to react to it. He's literally saying, I bulked up and it was bad. You shouldn't do it and don't bulk. And then 2 years later, he literally goes on a bulk, puts on 40 pounds and doesn't post anything on the internet. And so, you know, this is all going on. It's getting lots of views. So we're going over it again. And this is my theory. Jeff Seid goes on gear, PDs and all that stuff.
Okay.
And then he gets all shredded and ripped and looks amazing.
Okay.
And then he cycles off and then he gets fatter when he's off.
Or maybe he has selective memory and he forgets that he didn't like bulking the first time and he did it again. Sort of like having babies.
Oh, exactly. Or he just forgets the fact that 2 years ago he bulked and cut and said it was stupid and should do it. And he just done it again for fun because he forgot.
Or he needed new content, maybe.
Or he needed content, and this is my other theory. He just can't stay shredded. Let's assume he's natural. Let's pretend he's natural. We already know that he probably wasn't natural his whole life, but let's assume that he was. If that's actually true, maybe it's just the fact that Jeff Seid can't maintain single-digit body fat because it's not realistic, it's not healthy, it's not achievable, mentally, physically, and all that. He feels like shit, and then he finally says, enough of this, I can't be ripped, and then he starts eating more food and gets a little bit fatter, not fat, but a little bit fatter. We'll let Allie decide. I'm gonna see, does Allie think this guy looks good? I'm gonna get her opinion. Is Jeff Seid look good when he's bulked? Does he look better ripped? See from a woman's opinion, a woman's perspective, we're gonna see what Thee thinks.
Okay, I don't even know what this guy looks like. I've heard his name, but I have no idea what he looks like.
So this is just Allie gonna react, and so we're gonna watch Jeff Seid is bulking. Why my own thoughts? This is from years ago. Let's see. Let's get right into it.
Shirtless boys.
Hey, I just had called to find out how to say Jeff Seid instead of Jeff Seid.
It's pronounced Seid.
Seid.
Okay.
And I actually know how to say it now because it's like the left side and the right side. Jeff Seid.
Seid.
It's not seed. It's spelt like, see how you
Maybe the
seed, but it's side. It should be spelled S-I-D-E. Then it would be easy for us to read, but it is what it is.
Seid.
Today I'm going over Jeff Seid's latest bulk. So you're looking at his pictures bulked up. Does that look fat?
He looks like he's 12. Should I be looking at a
He's in his 20s.
shirt off 12-year-old?
He's in his What 12-year-old looks like that? Picture after picture after picture, you see this amazing, lean, shredded abs dude year-round. And so you saw the before and the bulked up version, the after. What do you think of both? Which do you prefer? The shredded, you see him do the friggin' pose, like ripped, and you see him here. This is his fat look.
Well,
This is his bulk.
I like that kind of a look. Not like photo shoot ready where you're like shredded and dry and everything else like he was in the photo shoot one. But this is like normal beach, like what you'd want to see walking around on the beach or on the cover of like a magazine.
And so quite literally, Jeff Seid on his bulk probably looks better to you. Like you don't need to be like 7 or 8% body fat. That looks good. That's more like 12% body fat, like somewhere in a normal range. Like, yeah, like not single digit, but still lean, but just not like fat. Like he's not like sloppy. Like he still has abs you can see.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm 9%. I can't maintain that. It's hard enough to maintain 9%, and I'm bike riding and eating from an anabolic cookbook.
And so this is over 2 years ago, and I'm still 9%. I'm still racing bikes, still having the food from the cookbook.
You don't look the same as that though.
How so? My hair is shorter?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just the lighting. You look better. No, you look better now than you did there.
Hair's cut shorter.
Yeah, your face looks better.
His body fat is still under 15%. He's still leaner than most people who I coach and most people that I recommend their body fat to be at 15% in the off season. He's still leaner than most people's off season.
And so here's my question, and this is what I want you to answer because I want a different opinion. Jeff Seid is saying he's bulked up. He's clearly stated it. 6,000 calories, 9 minutes a day. You saw his before and after physique. And you know a lot of people, they think that you should bulk. Now, they're seeing Jeff Seid and they're like, well, look at Jeff Seid. He's bulking, so I'm going to copy Jeff Seid because I want to look like him. The most of the people who are bulking, are they leaner than Jeff Seid or the same as Jeff Seid or fatter than Jeff Seid?
Well,
most people who are bulking.
Most people would definitely be fatter than Jeff Seid while bulking because he was in like competition shape. You don't see competitors who are in competitor shape saying like we're bulking. At that point, you're reverse dieting and slowly adding more calories. If he's looking like that and bulking, obviously can eat more calories. But again, to me, that doesn't really make sense because why not do it over like a slower amount of time so your body sort of adjusts properly? It doesn't make sense to me to like be that lean and then just to be like force feeding, eating every 90 minutes, 6,000 calories. Like I feel like your body is just not going to react well. You're going to be like, it's like that yo-yo, like up and down, up and down, up and down. And then it's going to be hard every time you do it to get to where you want to be. You know what I mean? Like you're going to have to spend more time doing cardio. You're going to have to cut your calories way more to get yourself back into like, you know, a single digit body fat level, which I mean, unless you're competing, you definitely don't need to be doing that.
Yeah. And really, let's think of it. The average person walking around skinny, fat and so on, they're probably at 20-25% body fat already. Like the average person going to the gym is probably 25% body fat. And so if they start bulking, it's like they've already bulked.
Yeah.
You're already,
That's
like if you already
smart.
have rolls on your stomach, do you really need to eat extra calories?
People think it's like cool to bulk because it's like, oh, I'm gonna bulk, like I'm a bodybuilder, I'm going to the gym, like I'm a gym bro, I'm gonna bulk. It's really not cool.
And so all the bodybuilders that you know, like Chris Bumstead and all the guys that you've seen around, how many of them look bulked up as in like chubby?
Yeah, none.
So
powerlifters, yes, I've bulked for powerlifting before, so have you. But like if you're trying to look good, or more fit, it's not the way to
if you're trying to look good, healthy, fit,
Yeah.
have normal blood pressure, why are you forcing in all these calories? And so what I'm seeing is that the people going on bulks are already chubby or fat, and so what's the purpose of the bulk?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if they're shredded, like friggin' Jeff Seid or like Chris Bumstead after a show, then they're going to slowly add in more calories to get up to like that normal level. And so for some reason, people don't understand that.
No, and it seems rather, you know, common sense, even though common sense is rare these days.
Common sense is very expensive. It's not easy to come by. It should be called common dollars or something. Common sense. It's like, it's not common. Common sense is anything but common.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem smart.
He said, no one said this shit was gonna be easy. Except for me! I said it's gonna be easy!
So this is what Jeff Seid literally wrote, the whole 6,000 calories, and no one said this shit was going to be easy. I got to put back the calories.
I hate that so much.
It drives me bonkers. I've argued these things with Fuad and other IBB pros. I'm like, you guys aren't all eating these 6,000 calories.
See the lights flashing?
Yeah, let's not worry about that. And so I did a podcast with Derek Lunsford, 212 Mr. Olympia. Pretty sure he's switching to open. 3,400 calories a day.
So I don't feel any kind of sadness for his severe suffering that he's doing to get in 6,000 unnecessary calories a day. I don't feel bad for him.
That is more than Chris Bumstead eats.
Honestly,
you think this guy needs to eat that?
I feel like people think they're like super cool if they're like, oh, I'm eating 6,000 calories a day. I have to eat every 90 minutes. I have to force the food down. Like you're like, oh, that's really a shame. Like I think people just want to do something different that people can talk about. It's like the shock factor that you have, in order to be cool, you have to be doing something different that everyone's gonna be like, oh my God, did you hear what he's doing? Like, I feel like a lot of social media life is a lot of that. Like you have to be different to stay relevant. So people just do dumb stuff. He probably doesn't even believe in any of this. He just needs something to do.
Exactly. Like, this is my point. Like, this is 2.5 years ago, and then he redid it again, and he ate 5,000 calories a day for 4 months, and he gained 40 pounds. Does he really need 6,000 calories if 5,000 made him fat, of which he then had to cut? Like, you seen how much I eat. Do any of my friends eat more than me?
No.
No. I eat more than, like, everyone.
Yes.
And how much do I eat in a day? Calories.
I don't know.
What would you guess?
3,000?
3,000?
3,200?
4,000? 3,500? And so if I'm racing bikes and you see me burn off over 1,000 calories, if I'm eating, say, 4,000 a day on a big day, what are the chances that Jeff needs 5,000 or 6,000?
Would you actually eat 4,000 calories?
On any big day, I would eat 4,000. And on a badder day, like if I'm just like not eating a lot, 3,000.
Really?
Yeah. And I eat more than all my friends. And so no one's needing 5,000 and 6,000 calories a day. Unless you're Antoine Vion. In my podcast with Antoine's like 280 pounds of muscle. And Jeff Seid is about half the size of Antoine, so he probably needs half the calories. And so for the most part, the average guy, if you're eating 3,000 calories a day, you're probably on a bulk. For most guys, 3,000 calories a day is more food than they need. I've coached thousands of people. I give them their diets. I think the most calories I've ever given someone once was 4,300 a day. And that guy was doing like 8 hours of physical labor a day and was a big 6-foot+ dude.
Yeah, exactly. If you're just going to the gym once a day for 2 hours, you're not needing to bulk.
So stop with the bulking. Jeff Seid, 4,000 calories a day, probably in the end going to make him chubbier. And so why do that? So 5,000 calories a day for a while, and then guess what? Cut on 2,000. And as Jeff Seid said, I gained all this muscle. I think I did. And then what happened? He lost it all on the cut.
Yeah, which again makes no sense. Like, why do you want to put that kind of stress on your body for it literally to do nothing?
Exactly.
Like,
the blood pressure.
It makes no sense. You're only harming yourself. So.
And you look better at a healthy weight year round than, and Ali said earlier, you don't need 6 or 7% body fat, and you don't need 20, just be somewhere in the middle, somewhere between like say 10, 15%.
Yeah,
and
something that's manageable, that your body's happy with and your mind is happy with.
Manageable and happy with and sustainable, not this up and down yo-yo roller coaster of I'm force feeding, I'm all in eating all this food, and then I'm cutting and it's chicken, broccoli, and rice. It's just like, have balance.
And don't eat chicken, broccoli, and rice. Blah. No one actually likes that. Eat something interesting.
The funny thing is there are people that actually like that, like legit do, but not many. But
see,
like
people think they like it because
until they eat pizza.
Yeah, people think they like it because they aren't given any other options. So they think like, oh, this is the best meal, ground beef and rice and broccoli. And it's like, do you have any idea the possibilities of what you could be eating instead of the same thing every single day? It's
like that lower fat mushroom risotto that I'd had for lunch.
Like
why not have
anything.
that?
Like
my open faced sloppy Gregs,
you had
I
that
had
for
that
lunch.
as well.
Is there more?
And I had 2 cans of peas.
Is there more of that?
Lots more.
Ooh, and sloppy Gregs are still in there.
Sloppy Gregs in your mouth. Who doesn't want a sloppy Greg in the mouth?
Frankly, he's full of poop. He's not actually eating 6,000 calories. He's probably exaggerating. It sounds cool. I'm bulking. I'm eating 6,000 calories. You get more comments. You get more views. You get whatever.
And so I called him out over 2 years ago, and I call him out now. I don't believe he actually ate 6,000 calories. He got fat on 5,000, his words. He didn't look fat here. He got fatter in this bulk than that bulk, and he was on 5,000 calories this time.
So this 2 years ago bulk, he got fatter than the one that he was on this
2 years
one.
that you saw him, the newer bulk, he actually got fatter than this. He was getting closer to like 20%, but still looked better than freaking 95% of guys.
Yeah.
He says, if you don't love me when I'm bulking, you don't deserve me when I'm shredded.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
Like you should love somebody for everything.
It's the saying, if you don't love me at my worst, then you sure can't love me at my best or something. It's the same saying.
from that?
He's saying bulking instead of if you don't love me.
And it's a great point because like Jeff Seid, he probably feels so much pressure to be shredded because he's always been like 6-7% his whole life competing and flexing and aesthetic. And then all of a sudden he gets up to say 15% body fat and then people won't watch him. Like, are they your friends? If they don't like you when you're 15% and they only like you when you're 5%, are they really your friends? No, like
Maybe he complains though all the time about having to eat the food and people are just tired of that.
my personal opinion is Jeff has to look a certain way because literally he went on this bulk and he stopped posting on social media for months throughout the bulk. And then he made a video and said, the reason why I wasn't posting is because I got fat and then I had to cut, and so don't bulk. That's his newest video. That's the video that I recorded, like that Jesse James sent a couple hours after it was posted, and it took 3 days to edit.
He probably has more issues than just bulking and cutting.
Yeah, he's probably doesn't like his look, and he's like, he feels he has to be ripped to like be presentable because I'm the Jeff Seid. He's lived this life for 8 years.
Yeah, that's the outside pressure of what he thinks people are expecting of him, and not wanting,
body dysmorphia.
That's exactly what it is.
Probably
so many people have that. It's hard for me to understand, to be honest, because I just don't get it.
Well, it's like when somebody's really happy all the time, they don't understand how somebody can be depressed because like you don't feel that. But like just because you don't, obviously you can relate and understand how it happens.
Yeah. I just feel bad, like, for people who.
Yeah, and so it's kind of hard to feel bad for Jeff Seid.
All your worth is based on if you're like 1% or a single digit body fat, like. There's so much more to life.
Yeah, I mean, like, and then people aren't going to feel bad for Jeff Seid, like, oh, what a hard life. He's a millionaire. He looks so great, and it's such a tough life. But like, really, if he has to always struggle with looking a certain way and dieting and bulking, he can't show himself unless he's dieted. It's
like that though in like every industry though, like. You know, actors committing suicide, even though they have everything they want. Like, it's all within. So if you don't feel good about doing something, then, you know, I get that can be depressing and that can be upsetting, but then you need separate help outside of.
And so this can all boil down to mental health. And so one of the reasons why people probably use steroids, performance enhancing drugs and so on, is because society's pressure to look a certain way. And people think it's only guys that are like bodybuilders with huge muscles, but like the average person that has no abs, a little bit chubby and maybe skinny arms, they're going to take steroids because they don't want to get made fun of. They want to go on the beach and fit in and just look okay. Yeah. So it happens to everybody. It's
it does.
They don't like the way they look, and it's like, here's something that can help. And boom.
It's just unfortunately the society we live in. Like, I mean, I get my lashes done, I get my hair done, I get my nails done.
Isn't it did? You get it did. Or you get her hair did, lips did, the Botox, the breast implants, all the different stuff. That's pressure to. There's a thought, like, why would you get breast implants unless you thought it looked better? So you're probably trying to look better. Yeah. So it's there, the pressure to look better.
Yeah, but I guess it's different with, you know, like it's the like how your mental health is with these things. Like if my self-worth was based on the way that I looked strictly, you know, I would probably have some serious issues. But my life is so well balanced that, you know, I can be, you know, 100% in everything.
She's happy with her looks, because if she wasn't, she has the worst diet I've seen of most people. And
Babe.
So, hey, we're just telling it like it is. The candies, like the jujubes, and the stuff in the car when I go in, and the pizzas and the garlic fingers and the leftovers. Yeah. This girl, like, she eats so much junk. And so if she really cared that much, she'd just be like, oh, I'm just going to, like, not eat as much. And she would lose weight. But it's like, if you just like yourself, then you just do whatever. And maybe there's some things that you do to look a bit better, makeup, whatever. But it's like, it's up to you to decide how much you're doing.
Exactly. That's what it is. It's your self-worth should be based not solely on one aspect of your life. So that's not balanced. You got to be balanced.
So Jeff Seid wrote in a post, and I agree with this 1,000,000,000%, no, 100%, because that's mathematically impossible. Bulk responsibly.
And so 2.5 years ago, Jeff Seid's posting on Instagram, bulk responsibly, and then 2.5 years go by. And let's just go to the next video.
If you're getting too much fat, not as much muscle, it might be time for you to start shredding and end the bulk. Would I recommend dirty bulking to you? No, I wouldn't.
And so we literally just watched him from 2.5 years ago, bulk responsibly, and he didn't even take his own advice. And it's like, oops, I did it again. I'm Britney Spears. Is there any chance in the world that he forgot about what he said from 2.5 years ago, not to bulk?
When he said the same thing, bulk responsibly. Like he literally, it's like the same video.
It's like he just repeated content again. Like, did he just watch, oh, that was cool. I said that 2.5 years.
That got a lot of views. I'm going to do it again.
And so he bulks, he gains a bit of body fat, and he doesn't post anything on social media. And then he's like, oh, I bulked, and then now I cut, and then don't bulk, and he does it again. And it's like, is he going to just keep doing this? Or maybe you could maintain, you know that word that everyone hates in the world right now? Maintain. Oh, it doesn't work. It doesn't exist. What is maintaining? You maintain a healthy body fat percentage, whatever that be for this person. Perhaps for Jeff Seid, it's 12%, and he stays at 12 and he slowly builds muscle. Rather than being 7 or 8%, going up to 20, hating his life, not posting for 6 months, then doing a drastic cut, losing all the muscle he built in the first place, and then repeating the cycle every 2 years, and then making videos and saying, oh, don't bulk.
Well, he literally said exactly that, except he didn't use the word maintaining. He literally said, start small, increase your calories by a small amount, still train, still do your cardio, and slowly increase based on how your body is responding.
Here's the difference between a lean bulk, dirty bulk, main gain is when your body fat percentage doesn't go up. You just build muscle. And so the calorie surplus is very small.
Yeah, look in the
30,
mirror. If you're
50,
getting fat, it's too much.
100. And so you can't track these small amount of calories. You can't track, 30 calories.
No.
So what you do is what Ali said. You look in the mirror every week or two. And if you don't get fatter, then that's good. That's what I'm doing. I'm always about 9% body fat. If my body fat goes up to 12, I'll be like, I obviously was bulking a bit too much, and I'll dial the calories back a little bit. If I get too lean and I lose my energy, sex drive, and all that stuff, then I'll eat a bit more. That's maintaining. Lean bulking, the difference is you're in a bit more of a calorie surplus. Maybe it's 300, 400, whatever. But eventually, that's not all muscle. You're going to then have to cut. So lean bulks end in a cut. That's up and down, up and down. Dirty bulks, bigger bulk, bigger cut. Yeah. Also not what I like. I like to maintain. Never, ever cut ever again. That's where I'd like you to be. You can do it the way you want. That's my personal preference. I think it's the healthiest. You don't have rise in blood pressure. You always look good. You always look the way you want, rather than saying, for this period of time, I'm going to be like fatter and not like my body. But later I'll cut down and then I'll make a bunch of videos. And then what happens is they bulk and then they throw throwbacks.
Yeah. Because that way you've messed up your mind and you're like, I can't post what I look like now because I'm not happy with it. And then you're throwing throwbacks out all the time.
Yeah, and so like Allie's IG channel, she posts all her photos of always what she looks because she's happy with always how she looks. Other people would be like, I'm only going to throw back to that time when I went on a diet for that vacation, and I'm going to live that life forever and make everyone think that I have a six-pack my whole life, and that's what I'm going to do. And that's what a lot of social media influencers do.
And they don't say it's a throwback. They just post it like half the time you don't even know if people are pregnant because all of their content is all old stuff, all throwbacks, but they don't actually say it's a throwback. And then they're popping out these kids and you're like, wait, I saw you all the time on my socials and you never were pregnant on any of your pictures. I don't get that. I'll do like a 1 month throwback for like an Italy picture that I really like again, but it's certainly not thrown back for when I was leaner and stronger. Ooh, maybe I should do that. I should go back into my 5 years ago file, do a throwback.
And so it's life lessons, which Greg and Allie were telling you what we think you should do is to just be at like a healthy weight all the time and just live life happy and be happy with yourself.
So much easier. Your mind is just at ease. Like the world is hard enough. You don't need a stressed out mind worrying about bulking and cutting and getting lean and getting fatter. Like just be happy and like something that's sustainable and maintainable.
Yeah, and I mean, I get it. Sometimes you want to bulk. Like, even though you look perfect, you're like, I just feel like doing something different. And so I've bulked in the past, and you're going to comment, like, you bulked. Yeah, I bulked. I was trying to break a world record in the bench press. I liked the way I looked, but I was like, I need to eat more, get bigger, so that I can, like, put on all this size, muscle, and bench press more.
Yeah, that's if you have a goal that you're, like, if you're in doing an activity or a sport or a competition, that's understandable, like doing crazy things to your body. I did it too when I was doing powerlifting. But the average person who's just going to the gym for, an hour and a half a day, 2 hours a day, you don't have a goal of competing. There's no reason to be bulking and cutting and gaining and losing. It makes no sense.
And so one last point, a lot of comments you'd be like, but Coach Greg, man, you bulked and cut your entire life. And it's like I competed and I cut down for shows, and then I was too lean. When you're too lean, like shredded, like when I was 5, 6, 7%, too lean. I had to bulk up because I felt like garbage when I was that lean. I couldn't maintain it mentally or physically. So then I eat more and my body fat goes up. And I'm going to tell you, be honest, I felt fat as well. When I was used to seeing myself shredded on a show, like bodybuilding
But that's
shredded.
how everybody is, though. Everybody who competes, even at an amateur level, their first show, your mind is not right after. Like you have to be in a good frame of mind and a good understanding of what your body can do and what it can't do and what it shouldn't do. So you have to have a good understanding before you just decide you're going to do a show.
Yeah, and that's why I keep preaching this. And it's like, I don't think people understand that I have so much experience, this personal experience. I've bulked and cut all the time. And every time I got cut, I was like, I like this. Oh, look how cool I'm veins ripped and all that stuff. But then the cut ends and you bulk back up to your normal weight. And it's not fun. Mentally, you look in the mirror and you actually feel fat. And I'm like, I'm not fat. I know this. I know that I'm at 13% and 13 is not fat, but I feel it. And that's me. And I have a strong ego. People are going to say I'm a narcissist. People say, they think I think I just honestly am accurately saying how I feel. But I honestly felt fat when I bulked up after competing because I was used to seeing myself shredded. I don't want you to feel that way. And so that's when I see all these all-in journeys and people force feeding, getting all these calories and being like, I'm going to bulk and put on this beef. I'm like, oh, but I worry about the mental health that goes with it. It's not just the physical, the blood pressure and all that. It's the mental health of seeing yourself getting fatter and not liking it. And so much better mentally, emotionally, all this to just maintain a healthy body fat for you.
Yeah, I was going to say, I competed in sports from the time I could walk until, a couple years ago. And like mentally, I'm probably the most stable person in the world. But when I did powerlifting, when you're playing a sport, you're usually getting better, so you're maintaining, you're scoring goals, getting baskets, whatever's happening. You play these games, you're sort of improving all the time. When you do powerlifting or when you compete, I don't know, I've never competed, but I know a lot of people who have, but I powerlifted, like bodybuilding competed, I powerlifting competed. When you're training for a meet, you're getting stronger and better, and every day in the gym, you're improving, you're getting like one more rep or, increasing the weight by 2 pounds or 5 pounds or whatever, and you're constantly improving. Well, then you do the meet, and then you get weaker
because you peaked, and then you have to taper down.
That part sucks. It can't keep going like this, guys. Like this is not it's not realistic. It's never going to happen. You're going to be going like this, obviously.
Strength is like the stock market.
Yeah.
Up and down. Overall, the long-term trajectory is you're here after 5 years, but you had a lot of up and down.
But this is the problem with like doing these competitions where it's like all your goals are in one basket. You do that, and then it's like you're going down. You're not going to keep improving. You're going to keep going down. There's a timeline. So if you stay more balanced with what you're doing, and it obviously mentally and physically is going to be better overall for long term. You don't get your injuries. Like powerlifting, training for these meets, you get all these crazy injuries, then you need time off, then you're weak as anything, and there's no motivation. Like you don't want to go to the gym, you don't want to do anything. So that's not realistic for long term. It's better to be like this and stay healthy, and your goals just sort of stay aligned instead of like this all the time, because it's not healthy in any way, I don't think, mentally or physically.
Absolutely. And I think on that note, hopefully this video helped. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette IP Pro. You can follow Allie on All About Allie, of which she doesn't post videos, but you can go check her out, see her old videos. Also on Instagram.
Oh, yeah, I have Instagram.
Yeah, also on Instagram. She
posts
posts there. You can watch me fall asleep all the time on her IG stories. And this is our new home. Watch the bloops, the supplements, cookbooks, training books, coaching plans by me and my team. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette FBBO on Instagram. Subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell button to get notified and all that stuff. And until next time, we are out.